Hi, I'm Pav.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to the Top 10 of Anything podcast.
Let's start the countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Warning. The following podcast will contain the constant use of the worst swear word known. Now, I'm not talking about tits, bum, piss, fuck, shit, cocksucker, pussy, fanny, motherfucker, wank, bollocks, spaff, that's for you, Lisa B, or flange. If you are of a nervous disposition, please turn off now. Here's Neil with 10 cunty facts.
Thank you very much, Pav. So here we go. The word cunt was found in the writings of Ptahhotep, an Egyptian vizier who lived in the 25th century BC.
You stupid cunt.
The word cunt that we use today comes from Germany and from the word Kanton.
Absolute cunt.
As far as historians can find, the word cunt has always meant female genitals.
Cunt.
In the Middle Ages, Christian clergymen preached the idea of a woman's genitals as a potent source of evil, referring to the cunus diabli, meaning devilish cunt.
Can I get any of you cunts a drink?
James Joyce was one of the first major 20th century novelists to put the word cunt into print in the book Ulysses.
Devoted sister, beloved cunt.
The first use of the word cunt in a movie seems to be Boys in the Band from 1970.
Stop fucking around, cunt!
The British film Nil by Mouth uses the word cunt the most, 82 times. Mind you, it uses the word fuck 428 times.
You can't say cunt in Canada.
The first use of cunt on TV was in the UK in 1970 on The Frost Report.
Show me your cunt.
I was dreading that one.
The band Anal Cunt were voted the most offensive band name.
Well, you're a cunt.
And in a side note, a common surname in the 12 to 1300s was Cuntles. I wonder why that died out.
You're a cunt.
Thank you very much, Neil. Well,
A pleasure.
we have issued the warning, so if you've reached this far in the podcast, then I feel we're on safe ground. So welcome, everybody, to what's going to be probably the most controversial episode we've ever done. Now, normally, when we do these kind of introductions, I will say, now our guest tonight, with this subject, there's only one person we could think of when we thought of this, and I'm not going to do that tonight because that's not really nice. But ladies and gentlemen, Anna is with us. She's joining us again. Hello, Anna.
Hooray!
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, I don't really know what we can say for a preamble on this one. It's definitely going to be how easy or hard was it, Anna, for you to get 10 uses of the word cunt in movies and TV?
Part of my daily vernacular, so it was pretty easy. I'm more so worried about what my browser history and how I'm going to be receiving things in the algorithm for the searches that I've done over the last couple of days. So that would be fun, but it was fun. It makes me want to go back and watch some movies.
I didn't realize quite how many when I started putting in Google, like TVs and especially TV. I didn't realize quite how many TV shows that I really, really like had that particular word. Neil, was it easy or hard for you?
I mean, it was hard to decide which order, but it was easy to find that precious word everywhere. Anna, I needed to ask, you said you use it quite a lot. Now, do you use it in an offensive term, as in you call somebody a cunt who's being a bit of a knob? Or do you, like in an Australian way, call somebody a cunt who's a bit of a friend?
A little bit of both. I've corrected people when I've been called a bitch and told them, "Oh, I'm not a bitch, I'm a cunt. Get it right." I do, fancy telling someone stop being so cunty because it's just fun. And in the States, unfortunately, people will shrill, just, "Oh my God, how could you ever? That is so filthy." It's referring to genitals. It's nothing worse than saying dick. It's just a little bit more gravitas with it because it's an effective word.
It's a bit more hard
So-
hitting, isn't
It
it? If you
is.
don't mind the pun.
It stings a little bit more, but thinking about, in the UK and Australia, how it's playful almost.
Mm. I mean,
How many times did I get to watch Charlie Hunnam say it? I mean,
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
great research.
Yeah. And don't forget, though, in this country, our censorship was quite strict on this word. There was a few sort of 15 movies that would pass it until the early 90s. But it automatically nearly meant that your movie would get an 18 certificate in this country if it had the word cunt.
So,
Whereas now
that's like equivalent to our
Mm.
NC-17.
Yeah. Whereas now they just put it in U certificate film. No, they don't.
No. Well, but PG-13, you're allowed to say fuck in that, aren't you?
You are now, yeah. That's the equivalent of our 12, isn't
Yeah.
it? So, yeah, you can. I think it's 4 fucks they can say in a PG-13.
Is it really?
Or a 12, yeah, when you research it. It's quite good fun.
So is it like, does one cunt equal 4 fucks? Can you have one cunt in a...
No, you can't.
Entire cunt.
Yeah. That's the most extreme. That's the most extreme. I just wish my friend was still alive. He had a really well-spoken voice, and he had the most amazing way of putting somebody down. I've said it before on the podcast probably, but if he didn't like somebody, he would just say to them, "You are a third-rate cunt." And it used to be wonderful the way that they just go, okay.
Oh, well, I'm sure we're going to come across a lot of cunts tonight. But let's just kick it off. Anna, give me your number 10.
My number 10 is a movie called Barfly, and Mickey Rourke delivers a very tight scene. Oh, shouldn't have said that. He's telling a bartender that your mother's cunt smells like carpet cleaner. And I'm not sure where the insult is that he knows that he's familiar with the bartender's mother in a biblical sense, or the carpet cleaner, because
carpet cleaner is
the
clean.
carpet cleaner?
Yeah, it's clean,
So,
isn't it?
Is it daisies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or very sort of chemically smelling.
Either way, it's going to be clean. Maybe it's the fact that he's so familiar with the mother's. I feel like I keep thinking I should stop and I should not say it, but it's just fucking balls to the wall. The mother's cunt. That's the reason that it's. So what's the reaction to the person that he's saying it to?
Nothing.
Right.
I think if Mickey Rourke in his heyday in the 80s is telling you that you just shut up and take it because it's Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
So.
Mickey Rourke. Oh, how the great fell.
I don't know. I haven't seen a
fell
picture
on
of
the
him
surgical
lately.
knife because
yeah.
But sometimes you can watch. Like I watched that boxing movie that he did.
Oh,
Is it The Fighter? Something
No,
like
the
that.
wrestler.
The wrestler, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and even as cut up as his face is, it's still Mickey Rourke, and it's
I haven't seen a picture of him lately, though. I don't know what he looks like.
I don't think you'd recognize him.
Really?
No, he's virtually unrecognizable.
Really?
Isn't he? But because he was like the big thing. I mean, he was such a good-looking man, wasn't he? He really was. All through sort of the 80s,
in the diner?
early 90s.
Yeah.
I think in Angel Heart, sorry. I don't normally go that way, but I think he's a good-looking man in that one.
9.5
So
weeks.
would he be your past? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Would he, Neil? Would he?
80s to 90s Mickey Rourke, yeah. I could have a throuple with him and Kim Basinger.
Wow.
Yeah.
And something to eat at the same time.
So make it a forkful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's all dive in.
Tag me in.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, what a mess that would be. What a glorious mess that would be.
But in Barfly, that was Faye Dunaway, wasn't it, if I'm not mistaken? Was it Faye Dunaway?
I think it was, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's been a while
They were-
since I've seen that movie.
They were drunks, weren't they? I think they were
Yeah,
drunks, yeah. Great one to kick us off. Okay then, Neil, you're number 10.
So this is quite a one, especially I thought it was quite shocking when it first came out. It's Kick-Ass and Hit Girl.
That's
So
my
bad guys.
number 5.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you cunts, let's see what you can do now.
Yeah.
Which, when I first watched it, I was like, really? Out of an 11-year-old girl's mouth? That shocked me at first. But I love it now. Every time I see it, I just think, oh, that's just fantastic writing.
Yeah. That movie
Obviously,
was way ahead of its time, I think.
and more brutal than people remember it. When you rewatch it now, it's brutal. That that whole sequence when Kick-Ass is stabbed is,
Yeah,
just makes me feel very uncomfortable.
yeah. Nick
But,
Cage
yeah.
being good Nick Cage, and what's it? Chloe Grace Moretz, isn't it?
Moretz,
It was
yeah.
Hit Girl. And she was just fantastic. Was she
Yeah.
really 11 at the time? Or
Yeah. She had to have her parents on there, and she was allowed to say it. Yeah, have a little research. I think 11, wasn't it? 12, maybe by the time it finished. But yeah, such a great performance.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's it was the talking point of the movie, wasn't it? That it was an 11-year-old girl. But then when you read the comic, I remember I bought the comic for Kick-Ass 2.
And it's all in there, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like it's way more graphic than they ever showed on screen.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's such a good film. Such a good. Have you watched Kick-Ass, Anna?
I don't think so, because I don't recall seeing an 11-year-old Chloe and Nick Cage being my heart. My Nick Cage and Valley Girl, stop it. Give me a time machine and take me back. And yeah.
I would thoroughly recommend watching it because Nick Cage is brilliant. He's like
I wrote it down.
He's like a Batman kind of superhero, but he is just it's him and his daughter, and he's very sort of hey shucks kind of thing to his daughter, but then he'll shoot her in the chest with to make sure she's used to being shot and stuff. It is just fucking mental. Film. It's a mental film, but it is so good.
It's another spin on that.
I could watch his recent Dracula movie. I can watch anything with Nick.
Yeah,
I was going to say I saw that last week, and it was a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think he didn't decide which accent he wanted to use for a start, did he? And it. One minute it seemed to be like a spoof comedy, and the next minute it was like a horror film. Yeah, it was a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
But
I haven't watched that one yet.
Have you not?
Next on the list.
Next on the list. Okay. My number 10 is Steve Coogan in The Trip, and he has a dream sequence at the start of one of the episodes where he's like walking down a Yorkshire like a village road and starts singing "Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes," and then everyone starts calling him a cunt, you're a cunt, you're a cunt. And then he wakes up. And I'd forgotten about this. It wasn't until, like you said, Anna, before we started, that you were worried about how the algorithms are going to look. I was looking at different bits, and then on my normal YouTube feed, this popped up. And I thought, oh my God, I forgot about this one. So The Trip is great anyway. I love The Trip. I haven't watched the very last one that they did. But him and Rob Brydon are great because he is playing a overinflated version of himself. But I don't think that that's too far away from how he really is in real life. Some of the stories that we've heard from certain people, I don't think he's 100% away from 100% away from that. But it's kind of a little bit jarring at the start because it looks like a bit like a Mary Poppins sort of dancing thing where the milkman and the postman and the butcher and they all come and join in, but then all of a sudden he's talking about how everyone's a bit of a cunt sometimes, and it's a little bit jarring. You think, oh, that's a great way to start a show. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Have you ever? Because in America, I think didn't they have The Trip as they were movies, weren't they, rather than TV shows?
Until the last ones.
Oh right, have you never seen it, Anna?
I've never seen it. I'm taking copious notes to have a new movie list. So
just remember, a lot of the Trip is improvised as well because it shows you how good they really are. So the impressions.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
But it's the first. It's in some parts it's very quaint English because you get to see loads of the English countryside in the first season. But yeah, it's him and Rob Brydon, and they are basically going off at different restaurants. I think, wasn't it, Neil? Yeah, different
restaurant reviews,
and they're doing restaurant reviews. But it's them as themselves as real people, but especially Steve Coogan, it's more of a blown up of how they are in real life. But yeah, that's a good one. Okay, Anna, your number 9, please.
So my number 9 is The Way of the Gun. And I will tell you that being American, I can talk this shit. It is the most obnoxious American scenario where the girlfriend of the guy is talking smack in a line at a bar, like to get in, and going off on a gentleman that's out in the distance next to a car, and he's get off my car, and just going off. And so then, oh, my boyfriend's going to kick your ass and this and that. Well, it's Sarah Silverman. She's wonderful. I love Sarah Silverman. I think she's gorgeous and an intellectual, and I love her comedy, but she's playing that obnoxious little shit. And so she's like, my boyfriend's gonna beat your ass. One, I would never say that. If I can't beat your ass myself, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Right.
So Ryan Phillippe is the guy that she's swearing to, and he just comes over and so I think he says like, shut the fuck up, you dumb cunt, and just like wallops on and hits her boyfriend and just knocks them all out because she was
Oh,
basically
wow.
asking for it. Not that
Yeah.
I condone violence and of that nature in any way, but like keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Don't,
And
you're provoking
again,
it.
that's done really sort of like, holy shit, when you watch it, the way he smacks her straight in the face. It's one of those moments you think, Jesus.
I've never seen that film before.
Benicio del Toro as well.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro, who Mexican Brad Pitt, be still my heart.
It's a good film.
We're pressing
so
all the
good.
buttons tonight, Anna, aren't we? I mean, every single one.
Isn't it?
Pause.
I think it's Christopher McQuarrie that directed
Oh, is it really?
Mm,
You did Mission Impossible and all that?
Yeah, I think it's his first directorial film.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think
I'll have to add that one to the list, but I didn't. I haven't seen that. So Sarah.
Yes.
I mean, I like Sarah Silverman as well. I think she's.
Oh, don't be warned, she's not in it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she probably plays obnoxious girlfriend.
Right.
But I mean,
so what sort of year is this from?
About 2000, early 2000s.
Oh, right. Okay.
Something like that, yeah.
Great one. That's one to add to the list. And what is it? What kind of movie is it? Is it like an action thriller kind of thing, or?
Yeah, I would say like action, somewhat
crime?
comedy, because that was funny. Crime. Yeah, I don't know how you guys categorize if it's different than what we would categorize, but action comedy.
Yeah,
it's one of those ones that sort of appeared a bit like Killing Zoe, which is sort of a Tarantino
cerebral kind of
thing. Yeah.
Okay. I will give that one a go. Definitely, without a doubt. Okay, go on then, Neil. You're number 9.
So it's Porky's. I love this movie.
Oh God,
I love this movie. And this is the bit where Pee-wee gets his revenge on Wendy Williams and phones the diner and asks if she could ask anyone if Mike Hunt is there. Has anybody seen Mike Hunt? And I think it's just the perfect example of that joke. It really is. And it was the first time I'd ever heard that joke, to be fair. Obviously, watching Porky's far too young. But
were you 5? Because I know how old I was when Porky's came out, or I think I kind of, maybe I was like 9 or 10.
So what was it? Early 80s?
Yeah, I think it's 82.
So yeah, if it was 81, I would have been 10.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, I was 10 back then, but I didn't see it straight away because I had to wait for it to come out on VHS. So I was probably 13-ish, 14 when I saw it.
That movie taught me so much about stuff I should never have known.
Yeah. But also really funny and really well done. It's probably frowned upon nowadays, but I think it's still hilarious.
It could never be made today, but awesome.
A great coming of age film as well, especially. Yeah, I just think it's a fantastic film.
1981, yeah.
81, there you go.
I mean, that was one of those, when you were at school, it was one of those, not coming of age, it was one of those rites of passage movies. It's sort of like, I can always remember, like, The Burning was one of those movies.
And
I think The
Video
Exorcist
Nasty
was one of those movies. And Porky's, it was like, have you seen Porky's? And, like, you weren't cool if you hadn't seen it, because they'd all be talking about, now, is that the movie that's got the hot dog scene?
No.
Oh, no, that's Bachelor Party, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get those. And then also Porky's 2.
Porky's is set in about 1950s, isn't it? And then
so which is the one where they're shagging in the graveyard? Is that Porky's 2?
That's Porky's 2, the next day.
The next
day. You see,
day.
I remember these so well because my mum was the accountant for a video chain where we lived. It shut down and she was allowed to take some of the videos. We got quite a lot of videos and I took Porky's 1 and Porky's 2. Far too young because they didn't know what it was. But obviously it's quite funny though when you watch Porky's 2 now and they call it The Next Day and they all look so much older.
Right.
Than they made Porky's 1.
Of course.
Yeah, but it's how much they'd aged in a day. It always makes me laugh. But Porky's is famous for Lassie, obviously Kim Cattrall.
Yeah.
It's famous for the where they all go to the swamp to to line up to have a go on this woman where it's a joke. It's the scene where Pee-wee always ends up naked running down the street, isn't it? And they do it again.
And I'm assuming I haven't seen these movies for decades, but I'm assuming that they don't hold up PC wise.
Oh, God, no.
No.
Probably not, but I don't look at it
I
that
think
way.
there's a glory hole in there, or there's where they
It's the
spy on
shower,
girls
isn't it?
in the
That's-
shower.
that's
yeah,
right.
And
yeah.
then that lady wouldn't move, and then he to freak him out, he puts his dick through the hole, doesn't he?
What was Beulah Ballbricker? Was
That's
that
right.
the
Yeah, she
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
move.
So the nurses, yeah.
And then he just suddenly shouts out, "Jesus Christ, will you move?" So he could see, and then they're all in there.
I'm gonna have to watch that one again.
It's
just to see what
brilliant.
it's like.
I'm sorry it's wrong, and people
Yeah.
might say it's wrong, but I think it's an absolutely fantastic comedy, a great teenage comedy. It's no ruder, really, if you think about it, than American Pie.
No, it was just of its time back then, wasn't it?
It was the original, wasn't it? It
Yeah.
was the original American Pie, really.
Yeah, I agree. Good one. Okay, my number 9 is a great film. It's In Bruges.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not Domhnall Gleeson, 'cause that's the son, isn't it? Brendan
Brendan.
Gleeson talking to Ralph Fiennes, and it's "You're a cunt. You'll always be a cunt." They're having an argument. Well, they're having a conversation, and Ralph Fiennes is like the head of he's a bad gangster kind of guy.
He's a nasty piece.
He's
of
a
work,
nasty piece of work. And Brendan
My
Gleeson.
number 5.
That's your number
Is it?
5. Yes. And Brendan
But
Gleeson.
well, I'll save my favorite part for that, but
Okay.
it says it differently.
Yeah, because he's basically then they're having an argument because I don't want to spoil the movie. Colin Farrell, I'm sure, is another one that ticks your box there, Anna. But Brendan Gleeson is supposed to be he's a hitman and is supposed to be killing Colin Farrell, and Colin Farrell wanted to kill himself, and he stopped him from doing it, and that's really put Ralph Fiennes over the edge. And it's the way that Brendan Gleeson he's trying to be really nice about it. He said, no disrespect. And I don't mean to be nasty. He said, but you're a cunt. You've always been a cunt. You're always going to be a cunt. You with your cunt kids. And then what's Ralph goes, you take that back. So all the stuff about calling him a cunt was fine. But as soon as he calls his kids cunt kids, and he goes, no, I take that bit back. I take that bit back. But I just think it's great. And it's such a good film. It's one of those real dark comedies. But it's such a good film with a great cast. So go on then, Anna. Why is it your number 5?
Oh, because when is it Ralph Fiennes, or I think in the States we say Rafe Fiennes?
It is Rafe, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is Rafe. I always call him Ralph because it's easier.
So he retorts to the other guy and saying, "My cunt fucking kids," and he says all of that beforehand. But as we say, "Fuck them kids,"
Yeah.
in the podcast. In the teabagger world,
Yeah,
I'm just like, yeah, my cunt fucking kids. So it just takes that parenting to another level, and I appreciated that.
yeah. And I think go on, Neil.
I was just going to say that movie's got some great swearing. It reminds me of the swearing the same might be on somebody's list, but it reminds me of Sexy Beast.
Yeah.
Do you know Ben Kingsley?
Yeah.
So
You always feel like Ray Fiennes' character and Ben Kingsley's character are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
They're the same kind of gangster, aren't they? But it's if we ever do an episode with no in the scenes, then Ben Kingsley no. Then you want to have that bit in there, don't you? Okay, Anna, your number 8, please.
We're on my number 8. Okay. See, I know I flip-flopped. Magnolia. That is the Tom Cruise.
Oh God, I forgot
He had
about that
a
one.
great cast, and he's this self-help guru who gets men to get their manlyhood going or whatever. And I say this line as a joke. It's because she's a wild beast. You cannot tame her, but it is respect the cock, tame the cunt.
That's right. Yes.
Tame this. That's what I would tell, Tom Cruise and his shoe lifts. And I have such disdain for that man. But yeah.
I mean, because he is a piece of shit in the movie, isn't he? He's a real piece of shit in the movie.
Huge piece of shit in the movie, but also a huge piece of shit as a human, in my opinion. But, it's for another podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
But it was still shocking to hear Tom Cruise say it to me.
Yeah.
And to play that part. I mean, whether you like him or dislike him for what his career has always been, the movie
Great actor. I love the Mission Impossibles. I can't,
But it was a shocker to see.
But he'd never played
part.
that kind of character before, had he? And it was, and the first thing he kind of says when he's doing that seminar was basically that.
Yeah.
And then you realise just, oh, what a piece of work he is. But I mean, I can't believe I didn't have that one in.
No, I'd forgotten that
because
one as well,
Magnolia is
pal.
a great movie.
It's
I
a
think
brilliant film. So
Paul
good.
Thomas Anderson, I genuinely think is one of the greatest directors
Yeah.
ever.
Mm-hmm.
Full stop. One of the brilliants.
Yeah. That's a good one, Anna. I cannot believe I can't believe I've not put that one.
Well,
in
I
there.
forgot that one as well, pal. So
Anyway, well done, Anna. Well done for that one. Gone then, Neil. You're number 8.
so it's David Carradine in Kill Bill Part 2. When he's
That's my
talking
number
to
2.
Oh, is it?
That's
I
my
love Kill
number
Bill
2.
number 2.
Yeah.
Took me a while for Kill Bill number 2 to level the first Kill Bill, because I didn't sort of appreciate it when I first saw it at the cinema with the slow bill. But once
Do you think?
it took me a while. Same with Hateful Eight. It took me a little while to get over the slow pace, and then more realised what a fantastic film it is. But it's that line, isn't it? You're not a bad person. You're a terrific person. You're my favourite person. But every once in a while, you can be a real cunt. I think it's just delivered so well from him.
I just think it's because it's the culmination of the whole 2 movies, and the fact that he knows he's got 6 steps or whatever it was, because Beatrice Kiddo has done the 5-finger death punch or whatever it is on him, and he knows he's literally got 5 or 6 steps, and then his heart's going to explode in his chest. And
So good.
it is so good.
Such a good movie.
And it's we've said it a million times, Neil, innit? We just want that whole bloody affair version,
Desperate for it.
where they split the 2 movies and put them together as one movie. But I could quite easily watch a double feature of those 2 back to back.
Oh, easily.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
You know, we've got the Japanese or the martial arts film at the beginning, then you've got the Western at the end. Yeah, it's just...
And I mean, I'm sure in the new year we are going to do top 10 directors, and I'm going to spoil it now. He's going to be my number 1 director, because I love the way he, on purpose, takes his time with whether it's a scene, a movie. He doesn't. I mean, that whole scene that's going from when Bill and the bride are together at the end, that's almost like the last third of the movie.
Yeah, no,
and it goes from where it looks like they're going to get back together again to him then shooting a tranquilizer dart in her leg, and so she can't move, and then he comes out with the whole sort of, you know, who the superhero of Spider-Man and Superman, and he gets that got a lot of stick when it first came out. It's a bit more, but I just love his writing. I love his directing. I love the attention to detail. It's just fantastic.
The what was the Sharon Tate one that he did?
Oh, Once Upon a Time,
in Hollywood, and just rewriting her ending, like.
We did it in Glorious Bastards as well, doesn't he? With the Hitler bit. But I'm intrigued to see what his last one is. The movie critic. That's what it's called, isn't it? I'm intrigued to see what that's going to be about, whether it's going to be a violent piece or not. I
mean, I'm sure it'll be violent.
Never know, do you, with him?
It has to be.
It's got to be.
I mean,
it's not a Tarantino movie. It hasn't got some kind of violence.
You know,
in it.
just exactly what you said. He changes it up every time. So to me, you would
but it still has violence in it. You may change up.
Well, at the moment. But he always said he always wanted to do a kids' film in an interview, equivalent to The Goonies. He isn't going to whack a load of violence in that, is he? So
who knows, Neil?
That's what I mean. It's exciting to know.
That would be awesome if he did a kid like. Oh, that would be really cool.
I would love to see him do something like. I know that he wouldn't ever do it, but like either a James Bond movie or a Marvel movie or a Star Wars movie, something that has got the IP is already there, but it's got his touch on it, just to see what he would do, because he would do something out of the ordinary with it. He wouldn't do a usual Marvel movie where people are smashing through buildings for the last half hour. It would be something complete. It would be Batman and the Joker on a table just chatting to each other, you know, for like 45 minutes, and you would be enthralled by every fucking minute of it. Oh,
well, he always said he wanted to do Casino Royale, didn't he? That was the one back then, yeah. Oh. And he wanted to take it back to when it was set and not be in modern present day, yeah. Which
is what we spoke about on the Bond songs, wasn't
we
it?
did.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one then. Okay, my number 8, you heard it on one of the clips, is Can I Get Any of You Cunts a Drink from Shaun of the Dead.
That's my second one.
That's your number 2, is it?
Yeah.
I think it basically sums up Ed. Wasn't his name Ed? Wasn't it? It just sums up that character just in that one line. And it's the kind of thing, I mean, I don't drink, but it's the kind of thing I could imagine late on a Saturday night. That's what I would say if anybody else wanted a drink, because it's just a great line.
It is.
It just kind of sums up everything that is great about Shaun of the Dead.
When I watched this at the cinema, I really wasn't expecting it either to open with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're sort of like, okay.
It's just great.
Yeah.
It's just great.
It's a great use of the word. It's, it's inclusive. It's, kind of like a little friendly
term of endearment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I mean, I'd probably say, can I get any of you motherfuckers a drink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with it. I really don't. Listeners, next time you're in the pub, try that line when you're buying a round of drinks and see what happens. Stand on a table in the middle of a crowded pub and shout out, can I get any of you cunts a drink, and see what happens. Email us. Just let us know.
Probably be a lot safer in the US than
April.
it would be in this. Yeah.
Anna, yes, when we have our meetup, one of us has got to do it, okay? We'll toss a coin.
I will gladly do it.
Will you do it? Okay, then. And I'll film it.
Of course I would do it.
And make sure you do it as loud as you can, Anna. As loud as you can.
We'll see if we can nick a microphone or something and do it that way. That would be so
megaphone.
funny. Yeah.
I have
go on,
a pretty
Anna.
loud voice. I probably could do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So my
Anna,
number...
Anna doesn't need a megaphone. She'll be fine. Number 7, please, Anna.
My number 7 is a movie called Bronson.
Okay.
I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I know it's a good movie. I've seen parts of it. But the part that, of course, stuck out for me was when he says, shut the fuck up, you cunt. Just the way he delivers it is just...
Yeah.
Love it.
That's
He's
Tom Hardy
great
for
in
you,
that
though,
role.
isn't it?
Yeah, he's great in that role. Absolutely brave role. Yeah. Have you got you said you haven't got all the way through it?
I haven't. It's one of those that like I pick up here, pick up there, and rarely comes on TV out here.
Yeah, it's of course it's quite relevant now because he's up for his parole in real life, Bronson, in this country.
Oh, again, is he?
Yeah, they're trying to get him. They think he might get out this time.
Yeah, I doubt he will.
Shut up, you cunt.
Sorry. It just made me realise that when I'm doing the trailer for this episode, I'm just going to chop up all the bits where we don't say cunt and just say this is the trailer, because when I was
going to say, if you got loads of cunts, you could just put one out that goes beep 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 beep.
Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? No one's going to know what the hell it's... Well, no one's going to know what we're talking about, of course they are. But that's a good one. I still... Oh, go on, Anna.
I wrote this down. What the hell is a spaff? I need to call Lisa.
Spaff. Well, there's a little story. So when a couple of weeks ago, when we were recording this, and Maria and Brandon and Lisa and Brandon's brother Adam were in my hometown. They came and visited. We were in a Thai restaurant, and Lisa just kept saying, "I've learnt a new word. It's called spaff." Now I don't know. I think I know what it means, and then she found out what it meant. And the amount of people around us that kept, every time she said spaff, they were looking at her. And it's a sexual term, isn't it, Neil?
It's ejaculation. Like spaff.
Basically, is what it is. And again, we're saying cunt every 5 seconds, and then I'm clamming up on spaff. But yeah,
where did she pick it up from?
I can't remember where she said she'd heard it from. She'd heard it from somebody, and it's a fact that it wasn't an American term.
No. It's Cockney one.
So she'd heard it, and then she found out what it meant. So she just kept saying it all the time. She goes, it's not splaff, it's spaff. And of course, obviously, there's somebody there having their egg fried rice, and they're wondering what the hell are they talking about in there. So that's why I thought I'd put that one in there.
I thought she might have heard it on the podcast, because I'm sure we probably used
I'm sure we have. I mean, I don't think there's any word we haven't said on this. Even flange. Okay, so that was yours. I was just about to say, I've still not seen Bronson all the way through. I still need to finish watching it. So I need to put that one on the list.
It's a good film.
Yeah, go on then, Neil. You're number 7.
So it's from an officer and a gentleman. I love this movie. If we talk about romantic movies, I think this is up there for me. But it's the bit when David Keith's girlfriend was trying to find him, and then they find out, what she'd done to him. I mean, I don't want to spoil it. It's only a 40-year-old
It was
movie.
made in 1980. I don't know.
Yeah, it's only a 40-plus-year-old movie. I don't know whether I should. No, it's basically he's got so upset. She rejected his engagement. He goes off to a hotel room, suicidal. She basically doesn't give a shit, and Richard Gere calls her a cunt for it.
Right. Okay.
And he ends up committing suicide over her. If you've not seen it, there you go. Very sad moment in the film. Absolutely devastating when he finds him in the shower, I think. Very good acting as well. But yeah.
Oh, so heartfelt. Like, just, you never want to find yourself in that position.
But it's the way Richard Gere delivered that line. You were right behind him because, that was with venom. That was with anger. He called her that. And yes, I like that one.
So it's been a long time since I've seen this movie. Does he call her a cunt after the guy's committed suicide?
No.
Or does he call her the cunt and then he commits suicide?
It's while he's looking for her. So he
right.
finds her. She explains what she's done. And then he obviously then finds where he is at the hotel.
Right.
Because it's their room where they were before.
Right.
And he's hung himself.
Okay. What a jolly one there, Neil. Thank you for that.
Bring us down, Bubs.
Yeah. Okay, my number 7. Now, this is a little bit of a twist to get it in here because this wasn't actually officially on TV.
No ding?
Thank you, Anna. But if you listen to the audio or you listen to the record that it was on, it is on here. So this is Monty Python and the Travel Agent sketch, and where Eric Idle says silly bunt. Now, he's a person that can't pronounce his C's. So I can't remember what the setup is before.
Well, he's trying to.
Michael Palin says, if you can't say your C's, then why don't you change it to a K? And he goes, college. Oh, right. What a silly bunt. So he does, in theory, say silly cunt, but he says silly bunt. So I've always liked that joke, but I don't think it was ever broadcast on TV, was it? Because I think it cuts. Every version I've seen, it cuts that bit, like they've sliced that bit out.
Yeah, I don't think it was because I've been rewatching them and it wasn't on the ones on Netflix, but it's on. They did it on the live shows.
All the live shows, and if you listen to the whichever record it was on, it's on there as well. So they just do the whole lot. But
it's on a lot of records because obviously they rehashed everything, didn't they? All the time.
They did. But that's just one that probably doesn't count to go on here. But I'm going to put it in there anyway. Okay, then Anna, your number 6, then please.
My number 6, we've already mentioned this delectable gentleman, Ben Kingsley in Sexy Beast. So it's kind of like every other word. So I don't have the man says cunt, but he says it to anybody that's in his path.
Yeah.
So it's just the way. Is he a Sir Ben Kingsley?
He is a Sir Ben Kingsley.
Absolutely is, yeah.
So, yeah. That little man, he does it.
He did.
Does it all day. Ben
Kingsley
Kingsley can get it. I tell you. I'm a weirdo.
Goodness me. I didn't realize that this episode would be so sexually charged. I really didn't.
Would you get him to dress up as Gandhi?
That is true. I forgot, yes. With your top heads pointing at me and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what else.
Anna, if you were to have an evening with him, which character would you get him to dress up with? Like maybe Gandhi? Would that do it?
I mean, it'd be easier to get his clothes off. It'd be easier to get his clothes off, wouldn't it?
No.
I don't know. I think it'd be quite funny.
No, I don't. It might be the character in Sexy Beast. I don't think I've ever seen him be so dark.
Terrifying in that.
Yeah, I too.
Yeah, he's a psychopath in that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, off his rocker.
Have you seen the recent Netflix Roald Dahl shorts? They're about 17 minutes each by Wes Anderson. They've done a few of them. Well, he's in a lot of them, and there's the one which is the first one out of the series that they've done. And Ben Kingsley's in it, and he teaches somebody, but it's his performance in that is so good.
Really,
so good. It's only like 17 minutes. Yeah, he teaches. Is it Benedict Cumberbatch? Yeah, I think it's Benedict Cumberbatch or Nev Patel. I can't quite remember which one he teaches it to first. The secret of seeing without being able to see.
Oh, right. I had heard
Check it out.
that
It's on the list.
they're supposed to be really good. Those are. I've
They
never got
are
around to seeing them.
fantastic. I've
Are
watched
they?
a couple of them twice now. The rat one with Ray Fiennes.
Right.
I just love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And yeah, it's got some great casts. It's got Richard Ayoade in it.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, he's in it. Like I said, Nev Patel's in it. Ben Kingsley's in it. Benedict Cumberbatch is in them. There's all sorts of people crop up. And they're really short. Like
Okay.
15 minutes long.
Another thing to add to the list. Okay.
Yeah, but I've been watching those sort of as I'm getting ready for bed, like a nighttime story. That's what it is.
Right. Good idea. Go on then, Neil. Number 6.
So, Curb Your Enthusiasm, series
Oh.
series 1, episode 8. We heard a clip of it at the beginning. All I need to say is beloved aunt.
That's my number 6.
Yeah, it's one of the funniest episodes I think ever. I mean, I'm a huge Curb Your Enthusiasm fan, but this still holds up as one of the greatest. So I'm not going to spoil this one because I think people deserve to find this one out and go and watch it. I really do, because it's hilarious when you find out what it's all
What's the
about.
episode again? Because I've
It's
seen all of Curb Your Enthusiasm, but
Episode 8, series 1.
Mm.
It's just
I think this was the moment that it kind of set it apart from other TV shows. It was. I mean, it's just. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think you really want to delve into it too much because you want people to
discover it and find out
discover
how
it,
bloody
yeah.
funny it really is.
Yeah. I
do
completely.
you
Yeah.
like that awkward comedy? Do you like the Larry David
Very
and
much.
machine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
think it.
so
I think
good.
it's very British, that kind of comedy as well, because it's like the one thing I've noticed is, and especially if you look at something like The Office, like our version of The Office, you've got someone at the top of it that's a complete cunt. He's a wanker. He only cares about himself, and British comedy characters tend to be people that are like not good at things. They are idiots, and they most of the time are not nice people. Where in America, the top people like Michael Scott and people like that, Leslie Knope in Parks and Rec, are really nice people. They just get themselves into weird situations. Larry David's a bit different to that. He's like a British version. He's like a Basil Fawlty, isn't he? He's like somebody that gets himself in these situations and just makes them worse because he's a bit of a knob. You know, he doesn't need to be in these situations, but he gets himself even more into these situations. And yeah, Beloved Aunt is definitely one of those moments. So
yeah, I would
I love
highly
calling
recommend.
somebody a knob. That's such a good word.
what, a knob? Calling someone a knob?
Oh,
There you
it's such
go.
a good word and so fitting. And Larry David is so fucking uncomfortable, but it is so brilliant.
It is. It is.
It's a touch of the Alan Partridge, isn't it?
Well, Alan
In there.
Partridge.
It's
yeah, I
another
mean,
one.
like I said, Basil Fawlty, he's another one. It's those kind of characters that they always think that they're better than everybody else, but they're the biggest idiot in the room. And that's one thing I love about that kind of comedy. Yeah. It's time for this.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Have you been on a quiz yet, Anna? Where we've been doing? I don't think you have you?
I don't know that we've done quizzes when
No, I
the
don't
last
think you
time
have.
I was here.
Oh.
So we have got a
Uh-oh.
quiz. We have got a quiz. It's in the same format as our favourite teabagging podcast. It's first one to 3, and if you get it wrong, it goes over to the opponent. Anna, you are first. Well, you can choose whether you want to go first or second because you are the guest. Would you like to go first or second?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay. So what I've done is I found the word cunt in various different languages. You have to tell me what language it's in. Okay. Now, I've got these from Google Translate, so please don't bombard me with emails. If they happen to be wrong, contact Google and tell them they got it wrong, okay? So here we go. Anna, here's your first one. Kus. Kusse. Kus. What language is that?
Greek?
Greek.
You're a cunt.
Unfortunately not. It's not. So Neil,
Fucker.
what?
Do you know, Anna, I was going to say Greek. I'll go Portuguese.
You're a cunt.
Unfortunately not. No, it's Danish.
Oh,
It's Danish.
Oh,
Okay,
it was the pronunciation, Pav. It was the pronunciation.
Well, again, I'm gonna get the pronunciation wrong as well. I'm gonna do the best I can. Okay, so Neil, for you, Cunnus. Cunnus. Could be Kunis, I suppose.
Italian.
You're a cunt.
It's not, I'm afraid. Over to you, Anna. Did you say Russian?
You're a cunt.
It's not, I'm afraid. It's Latin.
Well, that's what I thought. That's why I went to Italy.
Well, I think that you actually mentioned it in your fun facts, Neil. So back to you.
Because you would have all the Cunnus, Canim, Canoe, and all of that.
Wait, why didn't you say Latin then instead of?
Because Latin's not a language anymore.
Well, it was a language.
Yeah, but okay.
Neil.
You're a cunt.
Yeah.
Okay, Anna, back to you. Pizda. 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 What language is that from?
Spanish.
You're a cunt.
It's not, I'm afraid. Neil?
Russian. I'll go Russian.
You're a cunt.
It's not. Romanian, Polish, that's the kind of area for that one. Okay.
Neil, neither of us are getting any of that in any other country.
No.
Don't speak English.
No. All these women and men might be coming up to you and saying those words and you've got no idea what's going on. Okay, Neil, this is your second one. Coot. K-U-T. Coot.
Japanese.
You're a cunt.
It's not. Anna, to steal the point.
I keep hearing the old coot. That's just like an American thing. I'm pulling an alley right now, talking myself through it.
You are.
Farsi.
Farsi.
You're a cunt.
It's actually Dutch.
Oh.
It's actually Dutch. Okay, so Anna, back to you. Vitu. V-I-T-T-U. Vitu. I was going to say I could do it in the accent, but I don't even know what the accent is. Vitu. That's a terrible accent. I don't know what that is.
That sounded very sort of Danish again.
It did, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Dutch,
Got
maybe.
this little region going.
What do you think, Anna?
Is it sweet? What do they speak in Sweden? Swedish? I don't know.
You're a cunt.
It's not. It's
I'm
not.
a dumb cunt.
Anna, we both are. This is hard.
These aren't easy, to be fair, though, Anna.
I'll
These
go
aren't.
Russian again.
You're a cunt.
It was Finnish.
Oh, so
It was
close.
Yeah.
Finnish. So, Neil.
Yeah.
Fotze. F-O-T-Z-E. Fotze.
Italian.
You're a cunt.
It wasn't. Anna? Fotze.
Portuguese.
You're a cunt.
It's not. It's going well, this is going well. It's German, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, is it Anna? Your go? No. Neil? Whose go is it now? Oh, shit.
Anna's, because that was
It's
my
Anna.
go
Yeah.
to.
Anna.
Yeah.
We've got two left, so anybody could win now. So, Anna, Diska. Diska.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
Let me see your Diska. Diska.
Japanese.
You're a cunt.
It's not, I'm afraid. Neil.
Russian. One of them's going to be fucking Russian.
It
oh,
is
there we go.
Russian.
Finally!
It is Russian. And the final one, Neil. Manko. Manko.
Japanese.
Neil finishes with 2 and wins it 2-0. Well,
Sorry, Anna, but my hit rate of winning is
Hey,
not very high.
look, you can go to Japan and Russia now.
he's
and
going
all
to fill
power
his
to ya.
boots. He'll fill his boots in Russia and in Japan. Well done, Neil.
I don't think I'll be going to Russia anytime soon. Probably
Wow.
not allowed, but I'm off to Japan now to try that word. Say it again for me.
Manko.
Manko. Come
But
on,
then
you Mankos.
I mean, Google Translate, it might be something completely different. You got to be careful, is all I'm going to say.
Konnichiwa, Manko.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to the job in hand. Anna, your number 5 was In Bruges and
Yes, it
Cunt
was.
Fucking Kids. And Neil, what's your number 5?
So I always praise lyrical about this movie. I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. The Exorcist. There's many in there, but I'm going to put this one in. It's when Reagan's possessed with her head turned, and she says, "Did you see what she did, your cunting daughter?" Yeah. Do you know, when I was my dad had the book of The Exorcist when I was a lot younger, and I used to skip all the pages just to read the rude words. There you go, because there was so many in the book.
Isn't that what people, like young kids, bought dictionaries for? Just
Well,
to
it was,
look up
but-
vagina and penis? That's what I did.
Yeah, but I mean, modern dictionaries has the word cunt in now.
Does
whereas
it
When we were
really?
younger, it had none of that. Yeah. Wonder if it's got spaff in it. The
If
modern dictionary.
only I had a dictionary to hand.
Yeah, you need to buy a new one.
And-
That's the thing.
We can petition it to have the Oxford English
Yeah.
for
Put it-
Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Lisa's name, we will start that for her.
I bet you it's in there. I bet you any money it's
In
in.
the
it's gotta
Oxford
be.
English Dictionary.
Yeah.
But you'd have to go to a bookshop and find a new copy of the Oxford English
Yeah,
Dictionary,
yeah.
wouldn't you?
We
Wouldn't
will
be
do
any
that.
fun looking it up on the
No. We'd
next
have to
time
look.
next time I'm near a
I'm gonna do
bookstore,
the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look. And then I'm going
Ah.
to ask the lady behind the thing, is spaff in the English dictionary, my dear?
You know what?
Mm.
For The Exorcist, I was expecting. I was trying to remember whether they said, because I know that there's like things that Reagan's doing with a crucifix, and it's like fuck me, and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. But I
lick
didn't
me.
realize that they actually said.
Yeah,
Cunt
see
in
it
it.
a few times. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I remembered it, but I couldn't find it. I was, my brain was just Googled out.
Yeah,
And,
that's the thing.
I was faffed.
You was
And-
spaffed. You was all cunted out. It's just
I was
like
faffed it out to the max, and I just couldn't.
All spaffed out.
oh my lord.
Who sang that song? Was it All Spaffed Out?
Also, that was Alison Moyet, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Ah, see, now I should have done that when Lisa was coming to see me sing a couple of weeks ago. I should have done a
it'd
version
been
of that.
hilarious,
Wouldn't
it?
that have been crazy? Oh my lord. Okay, my number 5 was "Okay You Cunts" from Hit Girl in Kick Ass. So back to you, Anna, with your number 4.
The number 4, it's Jack Nicholson in Carnal Knowledge, and I didn't write down it is so long that he's just ripping into somebody and throws in cunt when really leisurely into his words that he's yelling at this person, and it's just poetic and beautiful, and it's
Oh, I
early,
didn't
early
mean to.
70s.
Yeah,
Didn't mean
that
to
was
press that button.
70s.
1971. 1971.
Yeah, Art
Yeah, and
Garfunkel.
the
as
year I
well.
was born, and it was so good. And that year, so I think it was 1969 when the boys in the band, and you mentioned that earlier. I just love how, oh, you cunt, just calling his friend a cunt, right? It just, there's so many uses of the word. So,
And I think
but yeah,
Nicholson.
you'll have to look at and I'll send you the link for Carnal Knowledge. It's so good.
And I think Nicholson's used it a few times in the movies. I'm trying to think. I seem to think he has. He's not adverse to an odd cunt slipping in here or there in his movies, was he?
And he probably used it in terms of endearment, but
More than likely. I just, so Art Garfunkel, Candice Bergen,
Yeah.
and Margaret.
I mean, it's controversial when it first came out.
Was it?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that movie before.
Do you remember, I can't think of his name, Alex somebody. He used to do cinema, the Cinemadrome on BBC Two.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put it on there, but
right.
they acquired the uncut version because obviously it was edited a bit. I don't know what was cut out. You'd have to.
Thank you very much. Sorry, Anna. You should have your own bell, Anna. Definitely.
I should. I should.
You should.
Yeah, it's a long time since I've seen it, but Art Garfunkel, surprisingly, is a really good actor.
Really?
Mm.
There you go. Something else I've learned tonight. That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Anna. Neil, you're number 4.
So Glengarry Glen Ross.
Oh, fucking hell.
Probably one of the most classic uses and put downs. Pacino to Spacey.
Can we stop and just start all over again, please? So I can put
Especially
Magnolia and fucking Glengarry. We were talking about this last week.
We were, because we'd seen this line delivered live on stage.
What?
You're a cunt.
Yes, I know I am.
What about this line that he calls him then? You stupid fucking cunt.
Yeah.
There you go.
Pacino.
Nemo
He sounds a
Patas.
little Pacino-ish in that. That's a
Yeah,
good
you've got to
delivery.
do it the way
You
he
just
does
needed
it.
the
hasn't it?
ooh-ah, didn't you? That's what you needed then.
You stupid fucking cunt. It's
Yeah.
so well done.
And then he says you dumb cunt afterwards as well,
Yeah.
doesn't he? In the same
But nothing
sentence,
holds up as
no.
much as that first one.
No.
'Cause-
Oh my god.
And it even worked when we saw it on stage. It gave
Yeah.
you that, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good movie. Such a
Yeah.
good movie. It's
Such
a
a-
masterclass in acting. I've said it a million times.
And writing.
And writing. Yeah. It's just so good. Oh, boy, I can't fucking believe I missed that one.
What a cunt.
We should do the sales movies, so like Glengarry Glen Ross, Wall Street, Boiler Room. There's
Wolf of Wall Street. You could put that one in
yeah.
there.
Oh, we
my
just watched that the
God.
other day, and I forgot how many drugs were in that movie.
Mm.
It's just.
I mean,
it's
that's
so
got to
good.
have a shitload of cunts in it, hasn't it? It's got to have Wolf
I
of Wall
can't
Street.
remember, to be honest.
It's
A
got
lot
to
of
be.
fucking-
Jonah Hill must say it, I'm sure.
The only bit I remember
hope Jonah
Jonah
Hill
Hill
would
is
say
getting
it.
his penis out in it. Well, obviously not his, was it? But
Wow.
we,
I'm even if it was a prosthetic, it was in the middle of a party,
Yeah.
and he just starts
jacking off.
laughing it.
Say!
But I
That's
mean,
not the
obviously,
proper
yeah,
usage, but
yeah, it was a prosthetic, wasn't it? Because I remember Martin Scorsese saying in an interview that even he was a bit uncomfortable when it came out because it looked a bit too real.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know that John Bernthal said that he hit him for real in that moment.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, they were saying that, well, because Jonah Hill was talking on a show saying that John Bernthal come up and said, I'm going to hit you for real. Is that okay? And he went, well, not really, no. He said, no, it'll be fine. Afterwards, when we finish filming, you can hit me. That's fine. Just let me have one. And he actually did. He lumped him one right in the face. And I thought that's just so good because he even told him he was going to do it, which I thought was nice of him. But to actually go ahead and actually do it is another thing. But
John
okay.
Bernthal and Ben Kingsley. Yep.
There you go.
Is there a wait list?
Yeah.
The list is getting longer and longer as we speak, Anna. That's the thing. Okay, my number 4. Now, I could have chosen anything from The Thick of It, which is a British TV political comedy, if you like, with the legendary Malcolm Tucker, played by, and I've forgotten his name. Who was it?
Yeah,
Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to take a clip from the movie version, which was weird because it didn't have the same people in from the TV show, did it?
It was a one-off, wasn't it? Into the Loop. Or whatever
Into
it
the
was
Loop, yeah. So he's talking to James Gandolfini, and he apologizes for the fact that he's swearing so much. So he turns to James Gandolfini and says, I'm sorry. I said, you're a boring F*** cunt. And it's just filled with such venom. And even, I mean, someone as big as James Gandolfini, even he looks shocked by the end of it. And the movie isn't as good as the TV show.
No.
But that bit, and again, I could have had a top 10 of Malcolm Tucker moments.
I was going to say that was the reason Malcolm Tucker didn't make my list, is I couldn't pick. He says it so often with such venom.
Many. It is like,
which one do you pick?
It's got to be the British TV show with the most swearing on it. It's got to be.
I wonder if it beats
What's
Neil
the
by
name
Mouth.
of the show?
Sorry?
What's the name of the show?
So the name of the show is The Thick of It, which you'll find it'll be on BritBox, I think, because it's not on it's not on Netflix or any of the BBC iPlayer or anything like that. And it's a shame because they took them all off of there, but they're so good. They're so good.
Yeah.
You understand? There's a couple of people that I know that worked in the British government, and they said that in the halls they wondered who was the spy because how they got it so close to the real life. But when you watch it and you think, oh my God, is that what real life politics is like? It's amazing that anything gets done in the government because they're all just fucking idiots.
Mm.
Nice to know that we're not that different.
No, absolutely. We're not that
No.
different at all. No.
No.
That was my number 4. So, Anna, your number 3, please.
So my number 3 is Gone Girl. And it's the scene between, I can't remember Ben's character's name, but Ben and his wife, the woman who goes missing. So my writing sucks. He's telling her, like, you quit on this relationship, you quit on this marriage and whatnot. And then she says, I'm not a quitter, I'm a cunt. And I love that because to me, it's like she's putting power into the word, just like I'd say, I'm not a bitch, I'm a cunt.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
And it's always a shock to hear Rosalind Pike say something like that. Just have to say.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
she always reminds me of the sort of actress that's in Merchant Ivory movies, that sort of thing. And then when she comes out with a film like that as well, which is pretty brutal, yeah, well, that's a great one, Anna. That is a great one.
She was. What was that
that's my
movie?
number 3.
The movie that she was in, where it was the I Care a Lot. I think was the one, wasn't it? She was a bitch in that as well.
Christ, wasn't she?
She was a bitch in that,
wasn't she? Just.
But didn't Gone Girl get a lot of controversy around it for some reason?
Probably.
Yeah. There, and I can't recall why, but
was it something to do with the fact that how it compared to the book or something like that? I can't quite remember. I knew there was some kind of hoo-ha around it.
Did not tell you.
No, I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But I would say probably.
But that's a good one because again, it also depends on who's saying cunt as well. And if it is somebody like you say that you don't think would say it, it gives it that little bit more gravitas, like you said, Anna. It just gives you that little bit more of an oomph.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally agree. Okay, then Neil, you're number 3.
So train spotting. There's a lot in this movie.
Oh,
yeah. Number 2. Is it? Which I mean, I put the Begbie in the bar bit when he throws the.
When he's telling the story.
Yeah, and then he throws the glass over when he's finished, and then smash, you hear the scream, and then he gets up and he shouts, "Nobody move! That last got glassed, and no cunt leaves till we find out which cunt did it." Robert Carlyle delivering it. I mean, I'm a fan of Scotland. I go there every year, go up to visit Scotland, and I have to say, they do love that word up there. They really do. And I mean, I would love to use it myself, but I always feel I'm sort of like, I shouldn't be allowed to. Is what they always say, "Dos cunt." You're a dos cunt, which.
But isn't it more of a term of endearment in Scotland? A bit like Australia. It's like used a different way, isn't it?
Sort of, but it's used with aggression, comedy. It's used. It's sort of everything in Scotland.
It's universal. Just.
So Anna, is that clip the same clip that you've got for number 2?
I think mine is the story that's just before. So they're in the bar. He's kind of holding court, telling the story. Every other word Begbie says is cunt.
Yeah.
And it's just so fluid off of his tongue, like nothing. And goes on to say it, and then does the whole glass thing. So
yeah, they do
that
have
whole scene. And he's such a great character.
And they have a great way of delivering the line. The Scottish accent really makes it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. It makes it a lot more colourful, doesn't it?
It does.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Okay, then my number 3. Now this is on TV, but it's real world. It's real life. This one. So just for your information, Anna, and all of our other American friends, at the moment, our fucking hell, my brain's gone. Chancellor of the Exchequer. His name is Jeremy Hunt. And there was a spate of times, very, very close together for some reason, that radio and TV presenters, for some reason, couldn't get away from the fact of calling him Jeremy Cunt live on air. And they didn't mean to do it. And I'm sure what happened was like one person did it. I remember one person did it, and there was a massive furore about it. And then people are thinking, while I'm doing this, I don't say cunt, don't say cunt. So it's in their mind. And then, I will put it on the video playlist for our Patreon subscribers. There was one woman that live on, I think it was Breakfast TV, did it twice. She said, Jeremy Cunt. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, Jeremy Cunt. And she said the same thing again. And it was just like, it became like an epidemic. There were so many people on radio and TV. And there's times when people are like, you can tell that they're absolutely horrified that they've said it. And there was a radio one that I heard where he said it, and he couldn't stop himself from laughing because he knew what he'd said, and it was a complete mess. So again, I know this is a little bit of a roundabout way of doing it, but I had to have that one because he should just call himself Jeremy Cunt. I don't want to give him my political leanings, but
You're a cunt.
He absolutely
Yeah.
is. So
I saw that on but the gal that said it, she says his name and they show a video clip of him walking forward. And then when she says it, so she says his name properly, and then she says, and Jeremy Cunt, and then continues on in the story. And I don't think that she recognized that she said it. And I said, well, that's just an unfortunate last name,
yeah.
But
There was just time. There was
the
one.
shoe
I can't remember
fits.
who it was. Yes, but there was one woman, and she was absolutely crestfallen that she'd done it because it must. Like I say, it's on their mind. They were talking. It was like today. I was listening to the radio today, and it was a sports reporter, and he was talking about like football in this country, and that's what he meant to say. He said he said football in this, but he had a thought as he was talking, and he said football in this cunt. Anyway, and he didn't finish the word country. Now nobody said anything, but I was pissing myself laughing at work because I thought, oh my god, what a bad way to finish a line of a sentence by not putting tree in it.
I mean, I feel that girl's pain, Pav. I had a cunt go out on air.
You did. Nobody found out though, because I don't think anybody was listening at the time. But he was talking about James Hunt, the Formula One driver.
I did. I said, not James. He's not James Cunt. He's James Hunt as a joke while we were recording it, thinking it'll get edited out, and it didn't.
No, I forgot to edit it out, didn't I, Neil? Yeah,
Which is hilarious.
Luckily, nobody was listening, so it was okay.
And we talk about people saying it in the wrong context. I was at a wedding with my cousin was there. One of our cousins were getting married. And some of my family live in Kent. And my cousin got a little bit tiddled and said to one of my posher uncles that seemed to be a bit sort of like proper, isn't it wonderful, the cunt countryside? And I absolutely wetted myself. I had to walk away.
Oh, dear.
He didn't twig. He kept saying, what are you laughing at?
That's good, though.
I love
that is
that.
good. That is good. Okay, so that was my number 3. So Anna, your number 2 is the Begbie story in Train Spotting. Neil, your number 2 is Shaun of the Dead. And can I get you, any of you cunts, a drink? My number 2 is Kill Bill Volume 2. Ooh. So before we reveal our number 1s, Anna, would you like to go through your 10 to 2? Neil will do the same, and then I'll do the same.
Okay, so we have Barfly with Mickey Rourke and The Way of the Gun, followed by Magnolia. I hope I'm doing this in order. Bronson, Sexy Beast with my lovely Ben Kingsley. And help me say this one, Bob. In Burgess?
Bruges.
Bruges. I'm not that fancy.
Yes, you are.
And Buddy's weighing in over here. He's like, Mom. Carnal Knowledge with Jack. And then Gone Girl and Train Spotting.
Lovely. Go on then, Neil. You're 10 to 2.
So Kick-Ass at number 10. At number 9, Porky's, Mike Hunt. Number 8, Kill Bill Volume 2. Number 7, Officer and a Gentleman. Number 6, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Number 5, The Exorcist. Number 4, Glengarry Glen Ross. Number 3, Train Spotting. And at number 2, Shaun of the Dead.
Thank you. And mine is at number 10, Everybody's a Bit of a Cunt Sometimes, The Trip. 9 is In Bruges. 8, Shaun of the Dead. 7, Silly Bunt from Monty Python. 6, Beloved Aunt, Curb Your Enthusiasm. 5, Hit Girl and Kick-Ass. 4, In the Loop. 3, Jeremy Hunt on the News. And number 2, Kill Bill Volume 2. So, Anna, what is your number 1 use of the word cunt in movies and TV?
So he would go above Ben Kingsley and John Barenthal. It's Charlie Hunnam and the Gentleman, and basically his entire dialogue, because every time, especially when I think he's getting the phone back from the kids. Don't want to be a spoiler here, but yeah, he uses it there, and in the scene with Hugh
Grant,
and he's throwing it out there, and then but the delivery back from Hugh Grant is something like I like when you talk dirty to me, but it's cheeky, right? Because it's Hugh.
Yeah,
it's just so good. I could watch that movie just on loop. It's so good. So basically Charlie and the gentleman.
Okay. Yeah, because that bit when he's trying to get the phone back, he's trying to be really nice to them, isn't he? And then he just gets this semi-automatic weapon out from behind the thing and just said, "Fuck off, cunt." Yeah, he changes like on a dime kind of thing. But yeah, that is a good movie. That's
Guy Ritchie back to form a little bit, isn't it?
That was. Yeah. That's a great one. It nearly made my top 10. I actually had that was one of my little clips, wasn't it?
Am I not mistaken? I might be. I read somewhere that they're converting it into a TV series.
It is. Yeah, I'd heard that as well. Yeah, they're doing a TV series of it. I don't know whether it's been made yet, but I know that there was a thing.
But I don't think it's got the original cast from the movie in.
No, I don't think so.
No. But they did that with Lock, Stock, didn't they? And the TV series was better than the movie.
Oh, was it? I never saw that.
Oh, the Lock, Stock TV series was absolutely superb.
Oh, right.
Well, you're a cunt.
Oh, not that one.
You can't say.
Not that one.
Show me your cunt.
Oh, it's not that one.
Fucking around, cunt.
There you go. That's the one. There you go. I found it in the end. Sorry, Anna.
That didn't get a ding?
Oh, yeah. Go on then, Neil. You're number one.
So, Pav, you've already mentioned this one, and it's The Trip. With the deleted scene, everyone's a bit of a cunt sometimes, which is no longer in the series. It's just an extra now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was never broadcast on the BBC. They put it into the DVD, and for some reason, it's now an extra scene because it was too many cunts for the BBC.
Well,
yeah, because it is literally cunt every other word. Isn't it?
Yeah.
But
how many cunts can the BBC take?
I don't know.
I mean, there's plenty of them working there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd imagine there's absolutely tons of them working there. But it's just a great, jolly Oliver-esque musical number with a great little dance thing to it. I mean, it leads with the funny bit as well when he reads when he's having a bad dream and he picks up the newspaper and the headline is "Steve Coogan is a cunt."
Yes,
on the newspaper. So it all ties in, but. I would urge anybody to watch it, and it will get stuck in your head. The song.
Well, it is up on YouTube, so I'll put it on the video playlist for our Patreoners because
it's so funny.
It is good, and like you say, it's just that it's a good old fashioned like Cockney knees up kind of thing, but it's like every other word is cunt, which is
everybody's bit of a cunt sometimes.
Sounds like a great snowy day, kind of stay home with the fireplace and watch a movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Okay, my number one. Now, again, this isn't where they're actually saying cunt, but... So it's Carry On, Don't Lose Your Head. Now, everyone who knows me knows I love Carry On movies. They are quintessentially British. And there is a scene... This is basically a movie that's set in the French Revolution times. And Joan Sims, who is a stalwart of the Carry On movies... is sitting opposite Charles Hawtrey, and they're in like a little gazebo kind of place. Now, I've read up on this because the way that it's shot, you see Charles Hawtrey's back, and she's talking about her brother, who's Kenneth Williams, and the line is "My brother, the Count." Now, the way that she says it is she says "My brother, the Count," is like she's calling him a cunt, right? Now, you can see on this. And again, I'll put it on the video playlist. All you see is Charles Hawtrey's shoulders, and you see his shoulders all of a sudden violently going up and down because nobody knew that she was going to say it that way, and it totally broke down filming because everybody lost their shit, and you can tell because it cuts very quickly after that. And I've always loved Joan Sims in Carry On movies, but especially for this because. It is just sublime the way that she delivers that thing. Is that she's and the fact that they could get these little really adult things into these bawdy, saucy comedies. It had to be my number one. It was one of those things. As soon as we said we were going to do this, that was straight away my number one. Even though she doesn't actually say the word, I'm having it in there because. And I don't know. I would love to know what you guys, Anna, think of Carry On movies because they are, like I say, they are so British.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, and I don't know whether or not they would translate over to American. I really don't. There's a great one. There's a Carry On Cowboy, which is just a pastiche of a good American Western. and it is such a good movie. But there are so many good ones. But like I say, I would love to. There are a couple that are completely on YouTube, the whole movies. I would love to know what you guys thought of it if you got to see it, because it's a certain kind of humor.
Innuendo, isn't it? If you love
Innuendo.
a good innuendo, then you're going to have a whole movie's worth.
Yeah. I was going to say something that would have been totally inappropriate then. I'm not.
Wait, after this podcast, Pop, what is inappropriate?
That is true, but I was going to say, oh, Anna, you like it in your endo. That's what I was going to say. And there you go. See, that was the look I didn't want to see, but I'm going to ding it anyway. Okay. We have some honourable mentions. Anna Sanders says number 1 has to be Richard E. Grant with Nail and I.
Oh, fuckaroo.
The scene
I forgot that one.
where Monty arrives at the cottage in the middle of the fucking night. Monty, you terrible cunt. What are you doing prowling around in the middle of the fucking night? Rick Tyndall says, you Brits love your curse words, as this is my wife's least favourite word. I'm sitting this one out, or it'll be a very cold Christmas in my house. I'll listen, but I won't participate. Still nothing but love for you guys on the podcast. Thank you, Rick. Matt Williams said plenty of examples in Deadwood, which, again, there are loads.
Never seen Deadwood.
It is great. It is a great show, and Ian McShane is brilliant in it. He's fantastic. Aaron Capone Langan says, off the top of my head, Silence of the Lambs, as Clarice was walking to meet, meet Hannibal for the first time. Miggs said he could smell hers, and then Hannibal asks her it was Miggs. Because that's afterwards he says, ooh, I bit my wrist.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Also, South Park, the entire time Jimmy was trying to say you're a continuing source of inspiration, but was stuttering at continuing. Kim Cornell says, Shaun of the Dead, Nick Frost, can I get any of you cunts a drink? I actually met him once and had him write this on my Funko.
Oh, really?
Good.
Oh, great.
Susie Lima, Bridesmaids, Kirsten Wig to the bratty little customer, Ted, Mila Kunis, because I love Mark Wahlberg's reaction to it. And Rupert Irving says, one memorable one is fairly early on in American Beauty when Mina Suave's character shouts, cunt, shortly after having an argument with someone. I think this was the first time I saw an American woman use it on film.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's it. We've done it.
Some great examples.
We've done it for our last ever episode of the Top 10 of Anything podcast.
We're all cunted out now.
That's it. That's it. We're going to get shut down. And I'm sure there's worse things that have been said. I'll put warnings and banners up everywhere. So
try and say it as many times as you can before you leave, you see.
I mean, why not? That's what we've got to do. I think it went well, though. What do you think, Anna?
I've enjoyed myself.
Yay! That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
I've always said there's certain people that I would love them to get to say the word cunt. I mean, Stephen Fry famously got Lorraine Kelly to say it, didn't he?
Oh, really?
But on Graham Norton. And I think there's certain people that I'd love to see, I think the older actors, Laurence Olivier, I would love to have heard say it, people like that. And I think it'd just be hilarious, but also just great, wouldn't it?
So Anna, if you could pick one person, who would you want to hear say cunt?
It'd be a toss-up between, we're going to have to resurrect the dead here, Bob Hope or Lucille Ball. They could say it to each other.
Love it.
Yeah. I mean, if it was Bob Hope, it would have to be on a cue card, though, wouldn't it? You'd have to have it written on a cue card. So,
what about you, Pav? Somebody you'd love to say the word.
We'd have to again resurrect, but the Queen.
Yeah, the Queen Mother would have been better.
That's my absolute first thought, and I was like, "Don't be disrespectful."
Oh
Anna.
no, that's not disrespectful at all. Yeah, the Queen and the Queen Mother.
Yeah,
having a chat with each other. Oh, these cunts. Yeah, those cunts. Yeah, that would be fun.
Fucking hangers on.
Chuck to say it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, I can imagine he does with his little temper tantrums.
Oh yeah, without shadow of a doubt.
Camilla, you are a cunt.
Was that your impersonation?
Okay, now we're all going to hell.
Yeah, we're all
going
going
to be investigated and
of Camilla. Yeah. Okay, before we say our proper goodbyes, Neil, would you like to tell everybody how they can get in touch and all that cunty gubbins?
All right, listen up, you cunts. You can find us on all the social media at Top 10 Pods. Please do give us a click, give us a like, give us a follow. If you cunts really want to, you can email us at top10pods@hotmail.com with any questions, anything you'd like to ask. Come on, you cunts, help support the podcast at patreon.com/top10pods, where there's all sorts of rewards where you can be a guest yourself. And if you can be really bothered, you cunts, check out the links via the link tree. You can find the link in the show notes. And please do come subscribe, leave us a review, rating wherever you get your podcasts from. Thank you, you cunts.
Thank you very much, Neil. Well, that's it. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening and watching. Thank you very much to Neil the cunt for being here. Thank you, Neil.
Thank you very much, you cunt. Thank you very much, Anna. We're not going to call
and thank you very
cunt.
much to the most beautiful cunt, to Anna. Thank you.
Ding,
God,
ding.
God bless you for just being here and being wonderful, and also for supporting us and all that kind of stuff. So,
Means
Anna,
the world.
could you just do that
Thank
for me
you.
one more time? Thank you very much.
You cunt.
Yay! Thank you very much, everybody, for watching and listening.
Bye, guys.
And let's go fucking, what is it? Let's
Crazy.
go crazy, you cunts.
10,
Bye-bye.